Hello everyone, welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Last episode we did a bit of Abyssal Craft, and since then I have upgraded all of the pedestals to Dreadlands. It's not a quest for some reason, but it was cheap so I just did it. And I went ahead and upgraded all the books, so now we have 4 of the red ones. I also made this room a bit more pretty, with some circles. So in this episode, I would like to get started with Evilcraft and Blood Magic. I'll progress through Evilcraft as much as possible, then I'll move on to Blood Magic. So we're going to need a blood extractor. It uses a dread crystal, 3 syringes, and some dark blocks, but we have so much of this, and some of this too. So we're going to need a darkened apple, and I think we feed this to an animal. And throw a book. Now we have the Evilcraft guide, but I don't think I'll use this. I've seen it can crash, so I don't want that to happen. Also, I've just read, and you can expand this blood extractor with some dark tanks, which are quite cheap. It's just dark steel and dark gems. I think it's just in the crafting table. Yes, they just add 165 buckets. I'd say that's enough. So to collect blood, do you just shoot things? Yes. Okay. We need animals with lots of health, so 2 wildwood. The amount of blood you get scales with their health, I think. 65,000. I think we can place the blood down and throw one of these in with 5 buckets. Oh. There we go. We also have hardened blood. Maybe you can pick up with Silk Touch. Yes. This might be useful later, but right now it looks like we have to go into blood magic. So to make the blood altar, we need Refined Corallium, Dreadium, Empowered Void, Advanced Ender Alloy, Darkstone, one of the big drums, we've not made one of these yet, and also another Dread Crystal. Let's do the drum first. I will encode the recipe. There we go, we can make one. It does use a few Endermen. We're just missing this, which I think we have enough charge now, in at least one of these. Yes. We also need another transmutation gem. Also another Oblivion Catalyst. So 4 Steaming Restonia, 4 Dreadium, and 20k potential energy. We will need another one of these, in a little bit, to make the weak Blood Orb. And also another one to make a digital miner. But after that there's no more uses. So we can make the Blood Altar. And a trophy! We haven't had one of these in ages. Look at the time jump. Almost a month. So with some Abyssal Night, which is just anything from the Dreadlands, drops of flesh, and you can just smelt it. The red or purple. And now with 2 of this, 2 shards of Oblivion, and some Palace, we can make the Sacrificial Dagger. Awesome. It does want us to make a Blood Orb now, but we don't have enough PE. The highest we have is 14k. I've heard these are good though, the Ritual Charms. The one for power. I think you might be able to put these on statues, or something. And they give more, which is great. Because these are dirt cheap. They're not gated at all. I'll make 7. So with just a bit of glowstone and shadow fragments. Do these go in here? There we go. This should give more now. So I'll go ahead and make the rest. All done. These should be quite good now. I don't exactly know how big the buff is. I'm hoping it's much better. So while we're waiting for that, I guess we can do this. So we need a bunch of blood. I have 8. This probably won't do. So we can stab ourselves to fill this. And with the bucket and coagulated blood, we can make this. Hardened blood droplet. Let's get a couple. So now we can make some rudimentary snares. So we can throw these at a mob, and when white particles appear, we can get Demonic Will. There we go. We got 1. There's a second. And a third. But this one sucks. It's not even 1. These 2 are fine though. So we're going to need a Hellfire Forge, which is Mithril, Iridium, Dark Steel, 2 Hardened Blood Droplets, and 4 Cincinnassite Forges. I've never made these before. There we go. Wasn't too bad. So now we can make some Tartaric Gems with Mithril, Shadow Gem Shards, Dark Gems, and Corallium Gems. I think it uses 1 will quality per craft, so we should be fine with these 2. 4 Tartaric Gems. You do need multiple, because you need a Tartaric Gem to upgrade a Tartaric Gem, so it gets quite weird, so it's best to have like 4. Oh, I guess we have 5 now. Aha! But look at this, we use 1 to get the Sentient Sword. All is well. We are going to need 32 will though, so I need more of these. Great, we need more blood. I guess we can melt rotten flesh. Yeah, we can. Alright, that's easy. I might go find some normal creatures. The animals in Wildwood are annoying. How about these guys? Now all the will is going in the Tartaric Gems. Now we have 22.3. Almost there. I'll make another 16. That should be enough until we get the sword, and then we don't need to do this ever again. No. We got 27. I could try one of these. It like heals you. Oh, completely heals you. That is fantastic. It's just a bunch of netherite, which we don't have much of, but we can build it for it in the nether. You can put mending on it. Okay, what about unbreaking? Yes. This is awesome. And it repairs itself with experience. I'm glad that works. We have 35, so with a Dreadium sword and a random Tartaric gem, we can make the Sentient Sword. Yay! And it gives us another one. Why? I have too many now. So we can put looting 3 on this. I think you get more will. I'm not sure, but I'll do it anyway. And there's a neat trick, where you don't actually need to use this sword to collect will. You can put the sword in your main hand, and a weapon in your offhand, like my laser. It collects will, without damaging the sword. So I can just shoot things, in this horrible dimension, and it fills everything up, really fast. Because once again, I think this is based on health. Yeah, everything's full already. To upgrade the gems, we are going to need a bunch of stuff though. So we can't do that quite yet. We should have enough PE to make the Dread Crystal now. It looks like all of these are full, which is great. This will be the last time we do this. Maybe. We might need more. And with 2,500 life essence, we can make the weak Blood Orb. Now we can start making blank runes and expand our Blood Altar, but I think I want to plan out where I'm putting this before I start doing that. This pack is very hard, so I'm probably going to need 3 altars, which if you don't know, are massive. I'm thinking over here. I want the area near the water to be Britannia, and maybe Astral up there, but that's still ages away. So somewhere about here would be good. So I've built this thing. I'm not sure if I like it. This will be the altar that we use for now. There's 2 other spots as well, but I haven't built those yet. The reason why we're going to need 3 in the future is because 1 is used for crafting, 1 is used for LP generation, and 1 is used for filling blood orbs, I think, but we can't do all that quite yet. So that's why we only have 1. By the way, the max size altar is 23 by 23, so they're quite big. You can fit 3 in a 3 by 3 chunk, which is quite nice. So that's what I've done here. And to make it a bit more interesting, they're all on different height levels. This one will be lower, this one will be higher. So in terms of progression, I would like to get down to this, for the Incense Altar. So we're going to need a bunch of blank runes, which we have the dark steel for. We just need a bunch of blank slates, which is made from modded stone from other dimensions. I will get a bunch of frozen stone from Icica, because you don't need silk touch. The quest book did give us these, which is nice. So you can have something like this, with a retriever set to 1, because you can put a full stack of something in this, and it just tears through all your blood. So we want to do it 1 at a time. This should be ready to go. We need 8 blank runes, which takes 16 blank slates, so we'll put 16 frozen stone in here. And remember to stab. It put all 16 on, for some reason, even though I set this. Oh, okay, I think I've got it working. This needs to be 1 as well. There we go. And we can filter it. There we go, all 16. And with a bunch of dark steel and blank slates, we can make 8 blank runes. And upgrade to tier 2. There we go. Also with the Dreadium sword and 5,000 blood, we can make the Dagger of Sacrifice. I'm not going to use this. I did it for the 3 runes. Now if we turn this off, we can make a reinforced slate from a blank slate. So that's why we had to do that. There we go. Bunch of free slates. I think I'd prefer a conduit here, so we can easily drag from here for the filter. That way we can easily pick which one we want to make. So I want to make reinforced right now. This way makes a bit more sense. There are more slates after the 5th one, but we don't have to worry about that for a bit, I don't think. We can put them above, it's fine. So reinforced can go here. We need 7 more. There we go. So with reinforced slate, lumium, and blank runes, we can make runes of self-sacrifice. And with reinforced slates, runes, and drill speed augments, we can make speed runes. And these can just go anywhere. But what I'm really interested in is the Incense Altar, in which we can make right away. And I want to put this here, right underneath. Now what happens is you can see my dagger is different. We can hold right click and let go. And it fills the entire altar, which I much prefer than spamming right click. And you can make it more efficient as well, but we do need path blocks for that. Right now I think it's the same efficiency. We should definitely look at these, which will let us do that. But for those, we're going to need undead planks, so we need to go back to Evil Craft. So with some hardened blood shards and hardened blood droplets, we can make the blood infusion core. Next up is the actual blood infuser. This seems fine apart from these. I've not made these before, but we should be able to just set up patterns. There we go. So with some steaming Restonia, Cincinnassite forges, hardened blood droplets, and infusers, and the blood infusion core, we can make the blood infuser. So now with some empowered Inori and blood, 10 buckets. Can you fill it here? Yes you can. We can make the Iron Promise Acceptor. So with some more hardened blood, which you can do in the smeltery, make it into shards, more blood droplets, and more dark power gems, which we can make in here now, 1 to 1, instead of 5 to 1. We can make another infusion core. We can now make the Corallium Decorated Blood Star, in which the 2nd Blood Orb is made from. It does require 12,000, and we have 10,000 buffer, so we'll have to sacrifice in the middle. I'll go now. There we go. Apprentice Blood Orb. It looks like before we can get our hands on this, which will get us the wooden path, we have to do both tier 1 and tier 2 essence. And we're told to automate these. So with some iridium glass bottles, steaming Restonia, Glod, hardened blood droplet, Dreadium, and dark steel, we can make an alchemy table. So there's 4 tier 1 essence, they all use random stuff, and a simple catalyst, so we should definitely automate this first. I'm thinking over here, I'll make an area for it. There we go, a nice clean area. So we're going to need 4 more. Nice and easy. I'm glad these aren't that expensive, and we'll stack them up this way. I think I want to use impulse hoppers. They work like this, where they only push once they've got everything. So it's quite useful for this. We're going to need 5. So my grand old plan is this, with the impulse hoppers pulling from the interfaces and pushing into the tables, because they can do that, which is very nice. They do need power though. We can do that with one of these. Now we need an ME connection, all the way over here, but I think there's one over here, so it's not that far away. So we can have a P2P, connect everything up. We'll go with this one. I also want the drawers here. Now I have to figure out how these work. Okay, we're back. I did take a break because my ME system was flickering, and I really could not figure out why, but it was because I accidentally connected the main line to the Rainbow Gen P2P, so I fixed that now, and everything's fine. So we can start by automating the simple catalyst. This one should be really easy. It's just bottles, redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, sugar, and bronze blend. We can also filter the impulse hopper, like so. I don't know if this will overflow with one type of item or not. If we pull from here, we might need a limited item filter. I guess we'll find out. Oh, it just works. That's good. I was not expecting that. There we go, it's working. We just need to push. Now we just need a blood orb, but it does need to have some blood in. You can right click it to do just that, or you can just put it on here. Now it should start crafting. Yes, and we can extract into the drawer. Okay, that just worked. I guess we'll move on to these. But first we're going to need a drawer controller and a storage bus. I will place it in the middle. I think it can just get everything because the furthest is 12 away. I will fill it in with trim for now. And I'll probably move the P2P to the middle. That makes more sense. And yes, it works. We can see the simple catalysts. I might need to pipe in and out of the impulse hoppers myself rather than relying on the push and pull. I don't know if it'll be fast enough, but now it's fine. But it might be a problem later on. So let's go through the tier 1 essences and pin everything we don't have automated. Okay, these 11. Some of these will be a lot easier than others though. Compressed gravel and sand can be done here with compacting drawers. We also should upgrade these pulverizers a bit. We're out of sand quite a lot. This is a lot faster. So that's these two done. Dirt will be pretty easy as well. I just need to remove it from the filter on the quantum quarry and add a drawer here. Now we have to worry about netherrack. I'm not sure how to do this. I was kind of hoping we could make it in a thermal machine like obsidian. It doesn't seem to be a thing though. I might just dump a bunch in my ME system. This is fine for now. As for lava buckets and water buckets, I think we'll do those in tanks from Ender.io. Should be pretty easy actually. We can just add it to the passive wall. And we need a bit of lava, like this, and water is just over here. There we go. It's working. Brilliant. That's 2 more done. As for lily pads, a resource fisher could work, so I will try it out. Where do I put this though? I'm really not sure. How about we place it here? And we could double up as well with a squid farm. You can get ink sacs with an animal rancher, I'm pretty sure. So the animal rancher can go here, and I think the resource fisher goes on top. And we have a 3x3 pool. There we go. These probably need power, don't they? There we go. The resource fisher is going. We're just getting fish, which I'm not that interested in. I need lily pads. We can have this conduit into a drawer. And also a crate. And a trash can. On really low priority. So anything that's not lily pads will go in here. And this is just so it doesn't stop. I don't think we've got a single one yet. We've had all 7 before. So this is kind of bad. I wonder if I should just collect a bunch. They're quite common in this biome. How about a builder? We need another one anyway. Does this work? So filter, whitelist, lily pads, power. Oh yeah, we need a quarry card. Let's just do a 64x64. There we go. It's replacing it with dirt. I did not know it did that. Oh, it's done. I guess it was only doing this bit. Do this many. I could make it only scan the level where the lily pads are. It should be this one. But I think it's like scanning places where they're not. This place is a good place. I might move it over there. Let's do that. Let's put it right here. Also, while we're here, we are going to need some squid. This is great. We do have over 3 stacks now. I think that's okay. I believe we can just put a bunch of squid in here. I'll do 4. They may or may not despawn, however. So I will name them. And there we go. Ink sacs. And with a little trim, we can connect them to a drawer controller and a storage bus. I do not know how I've not made conduit facade yet. Maybe I will for this and stuff like this as well. Technically, we have these 2 off the list. They're a bit slow, but we can fix that later. Now we have to deal with feather, gas tier, and aerogel. Aerogel should be super simple. I won't automate it, but I will excavate it. This will get you about 20,000 aerogel, which is more than we'll ever need up until we can do this. So I will move this excavator to the Aether. We just have to find a vein. There we go. Aether aerogel. There we go. It's working. So I can automatically bring these back with one of these, like so, and we can filter them here. Okay, we've got two things remaining. Feathers and gas tiers. Feathers we technically have automated, but I might just spawn chickens. And for gas tiers we can just spawn ghasts. So 2 powered spawners. There's our chicken, and I'm trying to find our ghast, but he's not showing up. There you are. So 1 chicken spawner, and 1 gas spawner. And we can add them down here. There we go, that should work. I don't exactly know how big ghasts are, but I'm hoping they can't fit through that. We might need to make some ineffable glass. I'll do that later. I see a problem. We should fix this now, probably. I would like a few more fans. Here. That's fine. And here. As well as in the roof, to push them into this. So here. I might move these a tiny bit to the left. I don't want them to get stuck here. I will move these 2 over. Okay. I'm hoping this works. I might need a few more height. We'll see. Before we turn it on, I do need to filter the drops. I don't know if they drop anything else. So fans on, spawners on. That ghast works. So did that one. Okay, it works. I will have to mute all ghast sounds now. We should have everything automated now for the tier 1 essence. We have lots of gas tiers and feathers. Time to filter everything. We will do Aether first, which are gas tiers, glowstone, aerogel, cloudberries, and feathers. Also these. They all use them. Now we can filter the impulse hopper, and pull, and push. There we go. Now we can grab our blood orb and craft a fair amount. Aether done. And last thing we need to do is set up the conduit. Looks like we're already out of life essence. These don't store that much. But while we're waiting, we can do the next one, which is simple catalyst, water buckets, ink sacs, jugonia, and lily pads. Now we can set the impulse hopper. The important thing about this one is we can have 2 buckets, and it works. You cannot do this with limited item filters, for some reason. So we can pull from the interface, and push to the table. By the way, I feel the need to remind you that I have installed Splice of Life Carrot Edition. That's not in the pack by default. And I have to say, it makes blood magic a lot easier. I did not mean for that, but that's why I've got so much health. And look at that. It just works. These impulse hoppers are great. There we go. Aquasalus. Oh. Empty buckets. How do we deal with those? Bin. It's fine. But we can't extract the buckets from that side. Where do we extract them from? I have a feeling we have to pull from this side. This is annoying. But for now, I'll move on to Incendium, which will have the same problem, but I will figure it out later, which is Lava Bucket, Pyrotheum, Infernal Bulb, and Netherrack. Pull, and push. Ah, but it does this. How do we stop it from doing that? I thought this would just work. But it doesn't. Well, we can craft it. Oh wait, I remember. If we put 63 Pyrotheum in here, when it puts in 2, one will go here, and one will go in another slot. So it should just work. We still need to sort out the buckets though. I'm not sure how to do that. But let's say we extract the bucket. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, the bucket is ruining it. I guess I'll move on to the last one, but I have a feeling we'll have to redo everything anyway. It's fine. This one's very simple. So simple catalyst, compressed dirt, compressed sand, compressed gravel, obsidian, and wild root. There we go. The last one. But I'm going to take a break and figure out how to do this properly, because this system works for these 2 and the last one, but not these ones. So I'm going to have to think about things. Okay, I'm back. Most of my problems were solved by locking the output. I think the only problem now is the empty buckets, and I have been thinking about it, and the easiest way is just moving the drawers 1 up, because then we have access to this side. I think everything's sorted out, and you know what? Let's make the painting machine. I do not want exposed wire. There we go. and some conduit facade. And I think it just works like this. Yeah. Nice and neat. So let's say we want more Aquasalus, which is the water bucket one. It works! Quite slowly now that we've locked it, and does Incendium work? It looks like it. I'm definitely going to have to move these around again. They're too slow now. Let's test out the feature system with this one. I will use integrated dynamics. So it will be interface here, and impulse hopper here. So importer, importer, interface, interface, and logic cable. And import all items on both of them. There we go. Much faster. Look at the speed. It's like 1 a second. Now we just have to set the interface again. There we go. This is so much better. I need to swap all of them to that. So I will extend the platform to here. And I'll also move all of these. And I'll be right back. Okay, all done. Each one of these is going to need a blood orb each. We only have one at the moment. How about we move on? I'm getting tired of these things. So I want to get this undead sapling, and therefore the wooden path. But we're going to need tier 2 essences. I don't want to do these yet, so I might just manually make these for now. So another table. And I'll put this here for now, but we're not going to be automating it yet. Oh, never mind. We're going to have to do mechanism stuff for that. I guess we can just do it manually. These two are just oxygen. So for now, we can have oxygen here into a purification chamber. So we can have some iron clumps and some tin clumps. I think we have to do the mechanism or processing later as well. Yeah, for shards. And also crystals. So with iron and tin clumps, and basalt powder, and simple catalysts, we can make the next tier of catalyst. But it does need a tier 2 blood orb, I'm pretty sure. I need to bind it as well. And we can put this in. There we go. Strengthened catalyst. And now I'll do one of each of the tier 2. Just for the quest. So with Aether, Glod, Electrum Glass, Glowstone, Holy Stone, we can make Sanctus. And with Incendium, Cyclops Eye Shard, Ender Shards, Draconium, Foreskia, we can make Magicalis. And with Aquasalus, Snow, and Packed Ice, we can make Crystallos. And for the last one, we're going to need a Boreal Essence, which needs a bunch of random saplings. None of which I have, but I think there is a way. Yes. We need to do a little bit of roots to do this. I think we need 4 saplings, with a different block on each of these. And we have a standing stone, which it wanted, so this should just work. There we go. Every 5 seconds it should transform one. Nice! And I'll get a bunch of saplings for these. Eventually we will grow these in a farm. There we go. Very funny looking trees. And with hardened blood and all 4 saplings. Oh, it's not in one of these. It's in a roots pyre for some reason. There we go. And with Terre, a Boreal Essence, Emeraldic Crystal, and Osco Glass, we can make Orbis Terre. And that's all the tier 2 essence. I might as well store them here. This is where they're going to go eventually. So this can go here, and the rest can just go in this order. There we go. Now it looks like we can make the Bowl of Promises. So we're going to need the Filled Bowl of Empty Promises, which has a tier 2 essence in. These two are easy. And a Bowl of Empty Promises, which does use some Aquasalus, in which we have. There we go. So these 4 in a Hellfire Forge. But we need to upgrade to the next Tartaric Gem. So we need to make the tier 1 reagents. We need at least 3 of each, I think, to upgrade 1. I think I'll make 4, just because it's a nice number. So air reagents are bottles, windmills, and pressurized air tanks, which don't stack. How fun. Water reagent is water, salt, and sugar. The buckets are very annoying. Lava is lava, flux electrum, and coal, again with the buckets. And dirty is coarse dirt and some of these root soils. There we go. So now we need 4 of these empty cores. I guess 3 actually. I thought there were 4. So we can make the gusty core, the aquatic core, and the fire core. And we can upgrade one of our gems. We might need all 64. This one has 60. Yes, there we go. Awesome! This can hold 256, which is enough for this craft. And it gives us another one. I've got too many. I've got 5 petty and 1 lesser. So now once again we're going to Wildwood. It even rains here, and we can collect some will. We're already full. I killed like 5 things maybe. So now we can make the bowl with this one. Filled bowl of empty promises. And we fill it full of blood. It takes a very long time. There we go. We need another one. Great. We do need some more magic healers, but that isn't a problem. So we can make another bowl and fill it with blood once again. After 2 years. And now with Empowered Honori, Cosmic Alloy, this Iron Promise Acceptor that we made ages ago, and the 2 bowls, we can make the Promise of Tenacity, which upgrades the machine. This goes up here, I'm pretty sure. It can hold more now, and also we can do specific recipes, like the Undead Sapling, which we can make from a dead bush. I'll make a couple, it's quite cheap. Or 1. It takes a lot of blood. Oh, it gives us 4 for free. So now we can grow these, and we can get undead wood. It does not drop saplings, by the way. You just get dead bushes back. There we go. Almost a stack of logs. Then now with 36 of treated wood, wild wood, red cedar wood, undead wood, magical wood, and path, we can finally make wooden path. There we go. And these, I believe, go in these holes. This is what the square is for, by the way. And depending on what you put in these 4 corners, this will boost the efficiency of you stabbing yourself. But it's best to have 4 different things. I will read and see what the best ones are, if it tells us. It doesn't tell us the best one, so they might all just be the same, so I'm just going to do 4 different ones. Of wood, leaves, life essence, and water. There we go. Now we should have a boost with the Incense Altar, but we probably can't tell. We've got so much health that it fills up anyway. How about we upgrade to tier 3, just because we can. So we need 20 runes. So I think I've made enough blank slates, or 11 more of these. We already have 9. We're also going to need glowstone, or sea lanterns, which I would prefer. So we can have it like this, and we'll have one of these on each side. It gave us these for free. And with sea lanterns here. There we go. This should be tier 3 now. So now we should be able to make some imbued slates. I would like 8, so we can set the filter. There we go. All 8. Turns out I need 16, because I want 8 runes of capacity, but it's 2 of these per one of those. So I've got more stabbing to do. There we go. All 16. So with some fluid tanks, blank runes, and imbued slates, we can make some runes of capacity. There we go. All 8. Now we shouldn't be wasting blood every time we stab ourselves, or at least waste less, because we might still fill this thing. It's up to 26k now, instead of 10k. So now if it's empty, and we stab, oh, we only do 20k. That's good. We're not wasting blood anymore. It does go up if we use more of these, so that might be a good idea. This should make crafting runes a lot easier now, because I had to do these one at a time, because they use 7,000, and we only had 10,000 capacity, so it was 1 stab per one of these. But now we can almost do 4 at a time, which is way better. So I think I'll end it here. We got a lot done today, a lot of blood magic. Next episode I think we'll do tier 2 essences, and maybe I'll look at automating the reagents as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.